Well, y'all read that title right. The Destiny franchise is coming to an end, and I can speak on the internet's behalf when I say this. It is not surprising. I repeat, it does not surprise anybody that Destiny is ending. I mean, after all, it's had a long run, like 12 years of content. 12 years. It's a long time, but I mean, it's just not surprising. I'll get into the disappointing part of that. Anyways, in this video, I'm going to be talking about key points from this official announcement that Bungie released on May 21st. At the time of recording this video, it is May 25th, 2026. And be advised, there will be some points in the video where I'll get into some rants. Just a heads up. Anyways, guys, let's get right into the video. All right. On June 9th, 2026, Bungie's going to release the final live service content update for Destiny 2. So what that means is, after June 9th, there will be no more new content, no more new expansions, no more new stories, no more new seasonal activities, no more armor sets, no more new weapons, abilities, destinations, or anything. This is it. This is it right here. This is the end of Destiny 2, or as far as I can tell, the Destiny franchise as a whole. And it's pretty sad right now, the state that Bungie is in. And I stress Bungie for a reason. Let's start with looking at Marathon, a game that came out 2 months ago on March 5th, 2026. The active player count right now at 12:02 p.m. Central Standard Time is almost 8,000 players. Almost 8,000 players. And when the game came out, it had an all-time peak of 88,337 players. That is sad. It's not even a quarter of its all-time peak. And this game just came out 2 months ago. That's sad. That is really sad for a 2-month-old game. Let's be real. I wouldn't be surprised if Bungie cans Marathon, if they decide to shut it down at some point in time or very soon. I wouldn't be surprised within the next year. And let's look at Destiny 2, a game that has been on Steam. I stress on Steam. I don't think we have any statistics from when it was on battle.net in its original release in October 2016. This game has been on Steam for a little over 6 years, over 6.5 years. Its all-time peak was 316,000 players. And the active players right now is 15,000 players. Guys, that's pretty much twice as many players playing Destiny 2 as there are on Marathon. That is sad. That is so sad. And not only that, the trend on both games, it looks like it's just going to get lower. Hate to say it, but the player count's just going to get lower. It's going downwards. I mean, look at the peaks. It has a peak of when it came out on Steam, when the Lightfall expansion released in February 2023, and when Lightfall came out in June 2024. These are 3 noticeable peaks that I noticed. Wow. That is sad, Bungie. That is sad. And let me look at the description right here. Let's look at this. Destiny 2 is an action MMO with a single evolving world that you and your friends can join anytime, anywhere, absolutely free. Absolutely free. That is a very inaccurate way to describe Destiny 2. It is not absolutely free. And whatever content is free on that game, you are so limited with what you can do with that free content. There is not much you can do. It is more challenging, I imagine, to level up in this game if you're just relying on free content. You basically got to spend money if you want to progress in this game. You have to. But we'll get more into that in a little towards the end of the video. We'll get more into that. But this is just sad. What this shows is Bungie is it's not a good look for Bungie. Doesn't seem like Sony is happy with Bungie's performance. Or at least Sony's just not happy with what Bungie has been doing towards their two focused franchises, Destiny and Marathon. They're not doing great on both of them. They're not. What it looks like right now is Sony made a bad investment with Destiny. That's what it looks like right now. Anyways, let's get back to this. Though active development may be concluding, we will ensure that Destiny 2 remains playable just as the original Destiny is. Today, many changes in this final update will aim to ensure that Destiny 2 is a welcoming place for players to return to. I don't think Destiny 2 has truly been a welcoming place for players, whether you're new or returning players. It truly hasn't. And I put it that way because, again, as I said earlier, you have to spend money if you truly want to somehow enjoy the game. I say somehow. It's a very grindy game, in fact. The progression system from when I last played the game was a bit confusing. I didn't feel like putting in the time to learn and understand this new progression system. Like, in other words, at that point, I'm like, you know what? There are other games I could be playing. I'm not going to be playing Destiny 2 anymore. At least this was after I finished the Final Shape campaign when it released. But yeah, Destiny has never, after Destiny 1 Taken King released, that became a turning point for Destiny, in my opinion. A turning point, because at that point, it divided the players. Players who had Destiny 1 vanilla but didn't want to spend the money for Taken King, and the players who were willing, players like me who bought the Taken King. It was a dividing point for the player base because if you had Taken King, you had access to the Crucible, all Crucible modes. You had access to a good chunk of the story content. If you didn't want to get Taken King at all, you were locked. A lot of content was locked behind a paywall. My childhood best friend didn't want to play Destiny anymore after Taken King release because, yeah, he couldn't enjoy anything out of it. There's no point. He didn't want to spend the money on Taken King. It's very understandable. It's a good reason to not play Destiny anymore at that point in time, because you spend money only for you to be locked behind a paywall that on content you used to have access to. It sucks. So Destiny's never truly been a welcoming place for some players. All right, let's move on. June 9th, the Destiny 2 Monument of Triumph will be available for all players. All players. And what this is usually towards the end of every year for Destiny, what they do is they release a set of achievements, maybe missions too, where like you earn all this content for the content that just commemorates the highlights from that past year. But this time is different because it will broaden that celebration, bringing together experiences from across Destiny 2. Broaden that celebration, bringing together experiences from across Destiny 2. So, does that mean there will be something that revolves around the Red War campaign that we lost out on? Lost in the Destiny Content Vault, or the Forsaken campaign? Again, lost in the Destiny Content Vault, which the Destiny Content Vault is the worst thing Bungie has ever introduced. Ever. Arguably, it is the worst thing that any developer has ever introduced to a game. It is the worst. And what the Destiny Content Vault is You have all this content, and Bungie could say, you know what? We could take out this stuff from certain things from the game, certain destinations, missions, activities. That could be removed from the game. We may or may not bring it back. Or in this case, whatever's going to be stuck in whatever they removed from the game that's in a content vault that is not going to be re-released on June 9th, that stuff's going to be gone forever. And that sucks because for someone like me who spent money on the Destiny 2 vanilla and Forsaken, our that stuff's gone. We don't have access to that stuff anymore. I can't play the Red War campaign anymore. Can't go to certain destinations like Titan, Io, or Mercury, or even the Tangled Shore from Forsaken, or even play the Forsaken campaign. That stuff is gone forever if they decided not to bring it back on June 9th or any time before that. That's it's really bad. I really don't like that they introduced that. And again, I mentioned some raids are gone. I don't think Scourge of the Past raid was ever brought back into the game, and I don't think it ever will come back. I don't think. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Someone in the comments. Is Scourge of the Past back in Destiny 2, or is that still not in the game? Someone let me know in the comments. Anyways, rediscovering Soul. We've been embracing the mission of making this update feel meaningful, looking back at many requests that players have shared with us over the years while finding ways to bring some of them to life. Oh, so are you bringing back raids or campaigns or destinations that we lost? No, because if I jump straight over here to the directory for the June 9th update, note there's some locations gone or is still not here. No no Titan here. No Io. No Mercury destination. Nope. That's gone. That is gone. We're never going to see those locations ever again. Ever. As far as I can tell. So, when you say, looking back at many of the requests that players have shared with us over the years, when I look at that, I'm like, so you've heard our requests to bring back some of these destinations and activities, and yet it doesn't seem like you brought it back. It's a pretty bad way to release the final update for Destiny 2. I don't like that. I'm pretty mad about that. Pantheon 2.0. Oh, this is one of the raids that they removed from the game when the Destiny content vault released. A new Pantheon is coming as a permanent addition with a fresh slate of bosses to challenge and overcome. June 9th, the first slate of bosses become available with 2 activities, each featuring a unique roster of bosses. June 13th, what we're calling the Gauntlet, the full lineup of boss encounters in a single activity. June 16th, encounter rotations begin. Players can attempt featured single boss encounters for rewards. Yeah. The Pantheon raids was other raid modes that were removed from Destiny 2 when the content vault was released. I can't tell if this is full-fledged Pantheon raids or not. I guess we'll find out in the next coming week. We'll find out, but I would not be surprised if these are still not their full-fledged raid modes, or if they slightly change the story in the Pantheon 2.0. I don't know. I I would not be surprised if Bungie does something with Pantheon 2.0 that will be disappointing to I and many of the other players. Destinations, a trip down memory lane. Destination, weapon, and armor have also been revisited, bring them to modern standards. Doesn't matter because okay, this doesn't really matter to me because yeah. They're not bringing back old destinations that they canned and locked into the Destiny console. I know I keep stressing that, but that's how bad it bothers me. New aspects, new abilities, sure, cool. Um, let's see. Seasonal events are being retired. No more Festival of the Lost events. No more Dawning. No more Guardian Games. No more Solstice events. No more of that. You'll still get some of the content from those events, but from my understanding, but we're never getting those celebrations ever again in Destiny 2. Doesn't bother me too much, but eh. Anyways, Eververse. Um, I mean, Bright Dust. All right, at least you can still earn Bright Dust in the game. At least there's that. Silver, on the other hand, will still be available for players to purchase in exchange for various items in the Eververse. Whatever. I never I never spent real money towards silver, and I still don't plan on it anytime soon. And please, for any of you guys who are playing Destiny 2 right now or will play Destiny 2 when this update comes out, please do yourself a favor and do not spend any of your money towards silver. Do not spend any real money for Destiny's in-game cosmetics. Just don't. Don't do that. Save yourself your money. Spend it on actual games or DLCs, I guess, from other games. Um, I could care less about the rewards pass. Wait, Monument of Triumph update brings an updated rewards pass. What was originally planned for Shadow and Order, I guess a different season or whatever, featuring a new exotic hand cannon, armor ornaments, and more. All right, whatever. That's cool. Armor ornaments, true exotic armor transmog. Starting June 9th, players may apply common, uncommon, rare, legendary armor ornaments to their exotic armors, visible only in PvE environments. That I can get behind. Because sometimes when you throw on exotic armor, it kind of ruins the aesthetic of whatever alpha you're trying to achieve. It ruins that aesthetic. But now, with the transmog, now you can truly achieve what you want while also having these exotic abilities. And I could get behind this too, because in PvP, at least they're saying, hey, at least from my understanding, it seems like uh what you have on in terms of exotic armor, that's what other players in the PvP game modes, like I assume Gambit and Crucible, they will see what armor you have on that's exotic. At least there's that. I can get behind that. Destiny 2 The Collection. We are bundling all Destiny 2 content packs into a singular purchase on June 9th. This includes campaigns, dungeon keys, 30th anniversary pack, and more. Yeah, this includes campaigns, but no Red War campaign, no Forsaken campaign. Still nudges me the wrong way. Sorry, not sorry, Bungie, but I'm I'm still mad about that. It's not bad, I guess, for anyone who missed out on Destiny 2 or is getting to Destiny 2 on a different platform and wants to have access to all this content. I guess it's not bad. Individual content packs and expansions will also receive permanent markdowns in June. That I can also get behind. How much of a permanent markdown will they be? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was an underwhelming amount of a markdown. I wouldn't. But, I mean, I'll be real. If I were to ever get any of the expansions that has been released after the final shape, I would just wait for the Steam sales on these after the permanent markdowns. And not only that, I'd have to be really bored to want to just, in, I guess, enjoy the rest of that content that came out, like whatever came out in year 11 and 12. One more thing, Sparrow Racing League returns. Okay. Okay. Sparrow Racing League is a feature that Bungie introduced in Destiny 1 Rise of Iron. It was a cool game mode. It really was. I kind of enjoyed it. And it was a limited time mode. For, at least public match wise, it was a limited time event. And for years, players in the community have been asking for Sparrow Racing to return, and they're finally bringing it back in the very last content update for Destiny 2. Better late than never, I suppose, but I mean, that's pretty cool that they're bringing back Sparrow Racing League. And not only that, it returns as a permanent addition, reopening tracks from the original Destiny 1 experience and adding a new space to race opponents on. We have created a new unique weapon set to earn by completing in races. Armor sets return with a new set bonus, and numerous cosmetics, including horns, will be available to earn. Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, they're bringing back horns for the sparrows. That's pretty cool. I this I can. All right, I think it's pretty cool. I like this. I might, you know what? I might consider, I will probably play Destiny 2. I'll probably log back on June 9th and see see what Destiny 2 feels like, I guess. In its very last on the day of the very last content update. I'd even play Sparrow Racing League just out of nostalgia, I guess. We'll have a full breakdown of Sparrow Racing League in the coming weeks, previewing the upcoming feature. Cool. That's cool. That's it, guys. That's about it. That's all Bungie has to say here that I want to discuss here. Um, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, a lot of things that I'm not very happy about, or things I have a feeling will not please me or any other players in the community, or were a part of the community. Um, Dang, this sucks. I mean, it's not surprising, but this kind of sucks. Um, so this is how Destiny ends. Um, it ends in a disappointing way. The Destiny franchise is not doing great, and Bungie's pulling the plug. That I can understand they're pulling the plug, but when EA pulled the plug on Star Wars Battlefront 2, that actually sucked because Battlefront 2 was making a comeback, and I and many other players were really enjoying Battlefront 2 and what the developers had to bring to the game years later. Only for EA to suddenly go, you know what? I know this game's doing good, but we're done. We're not gonna release any more content. That sucked. That truly sucked. When the Battlefront 2 was getting really good, EA pulled the plug on that game. Here, Bungie pulls the plug on a game that's just not doing them any favors. And what I find disappointing about this actually is I think they should have pulled the plug when the final shape came out. I don't think they should have brought in seasonal content. I think the final shape should have been it. That should have been the end of Destiny. That was, to me, would have been a satisfying enough conclusion to the Destiny story. It was a satisfying conclusion to, I guess, the light versus darkness saga, but as a whole for the franchise, not so much. It sucks. Anyways, guys, I know in the past I mentioned that I would talk about why I no longer actively play Destiny 2. And I thought about talking a little bit about that here, but I still think that deserves its own video. And I just really wanted to talk about this uh, post because, yeah, if you guys have been fans of the channel long enough, you guys will remember that I've uploaded plenty of Destiny content, plenty of Destiny content. Whether it was me trying to reach, I think it was light level 400 on Destiny 1, up to whatever the Eververse store had each week on Destiny 2. Yeah. I hope that whatever Bungie is doing, whether it's Destiny or Marathon related or not, I hope whatever they cook up will be pretty good. I hope. I think that's all any gamer can ask for. If you're making any new games, I cross my fingers it'll be fun to play. But realistically speaking, I don't know what they have in store. Doesn't seem, I know there's some people hold on to hope that Destiny 3 is going to happen, but I truly don't think that's going to happen at all, guys. I truly don't. I think this truly is the end for Destiny. And as for Marathon, I don't know if there's really any saving for that game. I don't think I would be surprised if they shut down the servers for Marathon anytime soon, or at least say we're not going to release any more new content for Marathon as well. I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, who knows what Bungie has in store going forward, if they do have anything in store. Anyways, guys, I know this is a very long video, but I hope you all enjoyed it, at least. Got some sort of entertainment with me repeatedly ranting the same points. And when I say that, I mean repeatedly mentioning the Destiny content vault. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.